50, 45 or
Yeah.
35.
315, yeah, 345.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So,
just give me 1 second. Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I'd like to invite the speaker, Dr. Manjeet Panwar, who will speak about how to set up commercial vermicompost unit. I now request the speaker to begin. Thank you.
hello, very good afternoon to all. Myself, Dr. Manjeet Panwar. I am working as a assistant professor in Sri Guru Gobind Singh Tricentenary University, Gurugram, Haryana. I did my PhD from Haryana Agriculture University in SAR and my specialization in agricultural extension education. So, as per uh, MAM guideline or agriculture info, dot com, the topic is assigned to me is how to set a commercial vermicompost unit. So, am I audible, ma'am? Is voice clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So, first of all, we want to know why we need vermicompost as a commercial point of view. So, let's come some background. So vermicomposting now gaining day by day strong popularity or foothold in the country due to its simple production technique and as well as ecological, economical, and human health benefit associated with it. So next, some relevance of the vermicomposting in India. Uh, as far as concerned food security in our India, there is a 1960. There is this one program started by Government of India known as High Yielding Variety Program, or also known as Green Revolution. In that particular HYV, there is required a intensive use of chemical fertilizer as well as pesticide as a input to uh, increase the overall production of field crops, especially wheat, paddy, maize, etc. So in this case, we before the green revolution era, or you can say high yielding variety program, we never used such or synthesized chemical fertilizer or pesticide. But after that program, we need to apply intensive chemical fertilizer and pesticide due to our food grain shortage in the nation. Over the year, excessive use of modern agriculture input like synthetic fertilizer, insecticide, pesticide has resulted in severe land or environmental degradation in India, along with increasing day by day input cost in point of farming. So today, for converting farms from inorganic to organic is being felt in the country, owning the economic and environmental factor, while vermicomposting is critical for promotion of organics. As you know, Government of India also promoting organic Parampragat Krishi and natural farming. So this is one component of natural farming. In vermicomposting, we replace the synthetic fertilizer or uh, synthetic or chemical fertilizer by simple vermicompost, which is produced by some specific species of worm. So when we talk about commercial vermicomposting, the our aim it in addition to the cost of production, a considerable amount has to be invested initially on the capital items like uh, sheds, transport, machinery, etc. The capital cost may work out about 5 to 6,000 For every ton of vermi-compost production capacity, the higher capital cost is due to the fact that the large unit require considerable expenditure on the preparation of vermi-compost bed, shed, provide shelter to these bed machinery. However, these expenditure are incurred only once. You can say this is a one-time investment for starting of the vermi-compost unit. Today, we will discuss some major components of the commercial vermicompost unit, which is very necessary to start any small or large scale vermicompost based business. So first of all, commercial unit have to develop based on the availability of the cow dung, or you can say it's a raw material. If some big dairy is functioning, then such a unit will be associated activity. Commercial unit must not be designed based on the imported cow dung, because this will also create an additional input cost. So the philosophy in the in situ development using natural resources. So our vermicompost unit should be on the basis of free of cost input, like dung is the main component of vermicompost. So for starting commercial unit, so what are the major points we need to consider or we need to focus? So first of all is the shed. For vermicomposting unit, whether a small or big, there is an essential item and is required for securing or vermi beds. They could be Threatened roofs supported by bamboo rafts, purlin, wooden, or steel trusses and stone. Some may be of other RCC pillar. But as far as concerned, the lowering the input cost, we need to ship the locally available roofing material that is more economic as well as long-term sustainable. Shade is very necessary because worms are uh, very sensitive micro organism, because direct sunlight is not good for worms. So for that we need to shed. So second is the vermi beds. Vermi bed are the uplifted area on which we create we create the beds by spreading the raw material like cow dung, etc. So normally the bed have 0.3 to 0.6 meter height, depending upon the provision of the drainage of excess water, because aeration is much needed in this type of bed. Care should be taken to make the bed with uniform height over the entire width to avoid low production owing to the low bed volume. The bed width should not be more than 1.5 meter to allow easy access to the center of the bed. So maximum height of any bed is 1.5 meter, so that maximum aeration can be or maximum access can be made easily in the vermi beds. So third component is land. About 0.5 to 0.6 acre of land will be needed to set up a vermiculture production. The center will have at least 6 to 8 shed for convenience and the dedicated area to finish the product. It should also have a bore wall or a separate facility, water facility for watering arrangement and other pieces of the equipment as described in the scheme economic. And the land can be taken on the lease for at least 10 to 15 years, so that uh, this business can be done on the long-term basis. Next, most important point is building. For commercial line, a considerable amount may have to be spent on the buildings to house, office, store, raw material, finished product, provide minimum accommodation to the manager or the worker. The cost of building along with its electrification of these buildings and the vermicide may be included under this item. So we need to build up at least one or two room for storing our vermi compost or some other purpose like packaging or to store some equipments like weighing machines, our pads or some other items. So we need one or two small room. So seed stock. This is an important item requiring considerable expenditure. So the worm multiply fast to give the required number over a period of 6 months to 1 year. It may not be wise to wait till such a time, having invested on the infrastructure heavily. Thus, the worm at the rate of 1 kg uh, per uh, bad volume should be adequate to start with and to build up the required population. Two or three cycle without unduly affecting the estimated. So, conclusion of this seed stocks that for starting a business, we should purchase directly from a good vermicompost unit so that because worms are multiply fastly sometimes, but many times this is some environmental factor also affect their multiplication. So to start full scale production, we need to proper worms population so that in minimum time we can convert maximum raw material in the vermi compost. Next is the fencing and road. The site need development for construction of structure, development of road pathway for easy movement of hand drain, trolley, wheel, barrows for conveying the raw material, finished work to and from the vermi shed. The entire area has to be fenced to prevent the trespass by animal or other unwanted element. These could be estimated based on the length of the periphery of the farm and length and the type of the road pathway required. Input investment cost vary uh, from mm, location to location. Water supply system. This is most critical input uh, facility for the vermicompost because uh, this is regular water uh, need is there for running the vermicompost unit. At the bed, have to keep most always with at least 50% moisture content. There is a need to plan for a water source, lifting mechanism, and the system of conveying and applying the water to the vermi beds. Dripper or some dripper as well manual spraying of the water on the beds is needed. Uh, continuously supply and continuously supply of the water is very much needed. Such a water supply system require considerable initial investment if we purchase the sprayer, automatic drippers for wetting the bed, or it can be reduced by applying the water directly by some labor manually. So this is also a critical input. Next is machinery. Farm machinery and implements are the required for cutting the raw material into small pieces conveying the shredded raw material to the vermi shed, loading, unloading, collection of the compost, closing of the bed, aeration, shifting. Some with these many operations in which machinery is required, uh, shifting the compost before the packing and air drying of the compost, automatic packing machines, teaching efficient running of the unit. There is various small machineries required to run this uh, vermicompost unit. Transportation for any vermicomposting unit, transport arrangement is must because we need frequently raw material as well as we need to transfer our finished product to the market when the source of raw material is away from the production unit, and the offsite transportation become major item of the investment. A large size unit with about 1,000 tons per annum capacity may require a 3-ton capacity mini trunk with small unit, particularly with the availability of raw material near to the site. Expanding on the transport place may become infractionous. So it is depend upon the site where you want to run your um, vermicompost unit. It if the site is too much away from the raw material like gaushalas or dairy, so you have to invest at least uh, a good amount on the vehicles to transfer your raw material to the vermicompost unit as well as finished product to your market. Furniture, or you can say some additional requirement, a reasonable amount could also be considered for furnishing the office come store, including store racks, other office equipment. This will enhance the efficiency of operation overall, but is not necessary or must. So the financial aspect, project cost, it is assumed that there is around 2 to 3 cycle of the production in first year and the 5 to 6 cycle in the subsequent year, with the duration of each cycle is around 65 to 70 days. So this is overall assumed outcome of the project. Further taking into account various limitation and the operational problem, the capacity utilization is further assumed at the 50% in the first year and the 90% of the second year onwards. So next is the project cost. Vermicompost could be taken up to any scale starting from 10 metric ton per annum to the 1,000 metric uh, ton per annum and above. It depends upon the various factor like land availability, finance. But as far as concerned business point of view, I suggest this vermicompost unit should be start on small scale, because there before starting on large scale, the entrepreneur should study your local market, the demand of vermicompost by different nurseries or the farmers or commercial company. After that, you calculate the expected demand as well as your production. So uh, it is advantageous to start with the less capacity and the later expand to the unit after gaining production experience and developing assured market for the product. So first of in initial stage, we should start it on small scale. So by starting on small scales, we gain experience in this particular business as well as we other experience like market demands, what are major constraints in this marketing channels, etc. A bad volume of 324 meters separated over 24 bed. In major calculation, I can share with you. A total 24 bed, such bed may be housed under 2 to 4 different open uh, sheds. So this is overall vermicomposting cost, capital cost, which is one time or the reoccurring as well. So land and building it vary from location to location. So here is not mentioned. Land on lease also, lease rate are variable from location to location. Like it's near to urban area or away from urban area. It's land is uh, facility of irrigation or not. It depends on many factors. So the lease rate also vary. So leveling the earth, filling for vermicompost shed, uh, 7,500. The fencing and the gate cost about 25,000. Open shed, actually there is two type of vermicompost. One is open shed, second is the brick lined bed bottom. Uh, both both the methods have some advantage or disadvantage uh, along with their input cost. It's if we start in open set, the input cost is very low. But when we go for brick line, bed bottom or platform with RCC, MS pipe, post trans, the our input cost is increased. So this also variable. Vermicompost bed, if we uh, mm, uh, almost 24 number of vermicompost bed. So maximum cost will be 5 lakh uh, 60,000. This is one-time cost for finished products about 30 meter scale, which is 30,000. So these are all our various implement machinery like shawls, pad, grow bags, iron basket. Many small tools will be needed for the efficient operation in vermicomposting. Plumbing, fitting tool, power operated shredder, sieving machine of the bags, weighing machine, bag sealing machine, culture tray, subtotal water provision, electric installation. The overall capital cost will be 1,18,000. Uh, 18,300. Sorry, 11,000. Sorry, 11 lakh 83,300. So this will be required for 200 ton per annual production of the vermicompost. So this is major points we need to keep in mind for starting vermicompost business. So these are the major points, but we need to what is vermicompost? Actually, vermicompost is a simple biotechnological process of composting in which certain species of the earthworm are used to enhance the process of wastage conversion and produce the better product. Vermicompost is a method of preparing enriched compost with the use of earthworm. It is one of the easiest method to recycle agriculture wastage and to produce good quality of compost. So vermicomposting is a method of making compost with the use of earthworm, which generally live in the soil, eat biomass, excrete the digestive form. The end product of vermicomposting is vermicompost. It contains about 1.2 to 1.6% of nitrogen, 1.8 to 2% P2O5, and zero point 0.5 to 0.75 uh, potassium. Earthworm consume large quantity of the organic matter and excrete soil as a cast vermiculture, scientific method of breeding and raising the earthworm in controlled condition. So in India or as well as other country, there is many species found of earthworm, which is convert the biomass in their vermicompost. But most popular species on vermi worms is used in vermi composting in India is Senia fetida and the Udrilis avengini. So these are the, but in fetida species is mostly used in India. What are the major characteristics of the uh, Fetida species, also known as red earthworm? So, what are the major characteristics? Body length around 3 to 10 centimeter, body weight zero point 0.4 to 6 gram, maturity almost 50 to 55 days. Conversion rate, or you can say multiplication rate, is 2.0. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Manjeet.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So there is a conversion rate of 2 quintal by 15,000 worms in 2 months. So cocoon production, one in every 3 days, incubation of the cocoon about 20 to 23 days. Here is the type of vermicomposting, or you can say.
Mr. Manjeet, your screen, I mean, the presentation is gone.
Okay, okay. 1 minute. Now visible? Or?
Yeah, you can, is it possible you can flip your phone to horizontal mode? Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, now fine.
So here is the type of vermicomposting. It may be small scale, or second one is the large scale, or you can say commercial vermicomposting. So for amount of production and composting structure, in small scale, personal requirement is 5 to 10 ton of the vermicompost annually. Very low production. But in large scale vermicomposting, there is around 50 to 100 ton annually production of the vermicomposting. So next is the method of vermicomposting. There is two method. One is bed method, which is also known as open method. Second is the pit method, that is improved method. In bed method, composting is done on the pakka or the kacha floor, which is making a bed 6 into 2 into 2 feet size of the organic mixture. This method is easy to maintain and to practice, as well as very low input cost, low finance is needed. In the pit method, composting is done in the cemented pit of the size 5 into 5 into 3 feet. The unit is covered with trench grass or any other locally available material. This method is not prepared due to the poor aeration waterlogging, because all the side of the raw material is covered by wall, and there is no contact with direct aeration. So as this method is not recommended, as well as this method need more investment. So bad method is very good. So earthworm is physically an aerator, crusher, mixture, chemically degrader, and biologically it is a stimulator in the decomposer system. So in this slide, this is the analysis of the vermi-compost for various nutrient composition. So, in vermi-compost, there is major nutrients is organic carbon 9 to 17%, total nitrogen 1.5 to 2.1%, phosphorus 1. To 1.5, total potassium 0.60%. So these are the nutritional analysis of the vermi-compost. So some uh, biological condition for a uh, good earthworm production as well as vermicompost production. So the pH range of raw material, or you can say dung, it should be in between the 6.5 to 7.5, or you can say natural. So in previous slide, I discussed that continue water supply is needed for this operation. So moisture should be 60 to 70%. Aeration at least 50%. That's why the open bed uh, vermicompost is prepared over the cemented pits. So temperature should be in between the 18 to 35 degrees Celsius. For that, if we our if bed is bare, or you can say in summer season, so we need to cover with various local available material, or you can say various agriculture wheat straw, paddy etc. We can use for cover this bed. So what is the procedure mostly prepared in either pit or heap method in a shady area in the farm? So to protect from the direct sunlight, our pit should be covered by some mulching material, or it should be in shady area so that the worm production uh, um, um, come not contact with direct sunlight. Some of the pits maybe 10 into 4 into uh, mm, 2 feet. First layer bedding material of lean stick with soft leaf. Second material is 9 inch thick organic residue layer, finish chopped material. Third layer is dung plus water, equal mixture of the 2 inch layer. So there is 3 layer in the bed of raw material. Continual layer up to the ground level. Regular watering should be done before uh, uh, introduce of the worms in the bed. At the day of 24th, almost 4,000 worms are introduced in the pits, in one pit. The temperature at the beginning may reach up to almost 66 degree. Hence, the introduction of the earthworm should be done after 2 to 3 weeks. So, in fresh dung, there is release of due to release of methanes, the temperature will increase. For to reduce the temperature down, we need to cool down this dung for putting on the various bed. So for this, we need to regular uh, spray the water to release the temperature of the fresh dung. After that, we can put this on bedding material, and after that, we will release the worms in these beds. After the heap cool down, the hole should be done, and the almost 50 to 100 earthworms should be dropped in each hole. After a Few day earthworm will begin consuming the organic matter and leave rich casting behind. Harvesting of the vermicompost from the pit, stop watering before if we adopt the pit method. So in this case we stop the watering at least 1 week before the harvesting. All the worms spread across the pit come in closer and form the ball into 2 or 3 locations inside the pit. Keep the compost by removing the balls, then the metal is sieved into mmcs, and the material that pass through the sieve is called the vermicompost. Store the vermicompost in polythene or other packing. So here is the sieving of the vermicompost. After sieving, the pure tea dust like appearance is shown in this vermicompost. So it can be sell by open or by packing method. You can uh, contact farmers or other nursery owner, whatever they prefer. So in this slide, here is the turnover. Uh, can say it is the conversion rate. How much vermicompost we will get after putting how much fresh dung or the raw material. The turnover of the compost is almost 70%. The total material accumulated in the pit is 1,000 kilogram. The turnout will be 750 kg almost. Conversion rate, or you can say 1,000 earthworm may convert almost 5 kg waste material per day. So 1,000 worm weight almost 1 kilogram. Here is the conversion rate. So some are the problems in this business may come occur, like death of worm. They are getting enough food. Food should be buried in the bedding. Food may be too dry, moisture. Uh, Food may be too wet. It may be bedding. Worms may be too hot. Putting bean in shed. Bad smell. No enough circulation. Dry bedding under and over the worm. Turning the food. There may be these are the some problems mm, uh, may occur along with some constraint or challenge in this sector. In first slide, I said that government of India as well as uh, various organization promoting the insecticide free or the synthetic fertilizer free food production for healthy lifestyle, and central government also promoting this scheme, and many times prime minister emphasized that to generate the employment, not uh, uh, stand in line to get the employment. So vermicompost uh, is a good business to start the to generate the employment, especially for rural area or peri-urban area. But till date, there is not enough uh, startup, or you can say progress is seen in this sector. What is the constraints or challenge behind this? So first of all is there is a low awareness about the public, or as well as you can say farmer community. So due to this, majority of farmer thinks that is more uh, good as compared to vermicompost. But this is totally wrong, because synthetic fertilizer fulfill only one or two nutrients requirement of the soil, whereas the vermicompost is rich in various nutrients component that fulfill the soil various nutrients requirement. Second challenge is lack of the standard operating procedure. Uh, in developing country like India, so if we talk about vermicomposting in developed country, so there is some quality standard to produce composting. So in India, or we can say there is a lack of some standard operation which we needed to produce the vermicompost. So it should be improved. Training, capacity building, and the extension facility. So there is uh, shortage of training, or you can say capacity building or extension facility, so that capacity enhancement of farmers as well, rural youth can be done by providing training in specified area, or like vermicomposting, scalability of the vermicomposting. It's also another challenge. Market connectivity. So market is a very important challenge in vermicompost. So market component is a very important challenge in this sector. So that's why I said that before starting vermicompost on a large scale, or you can say commercial scale, uh, so we should start in very small scale, so that in uh, in uh, due to increasing to scale up that particular business on a large scale, in that duration we will skill many things, or can collect can collect different type of information about market as well as this sector. So for marketing of vermicompost, there is need to find the market channels like farmers, nursery growers, kitchen gardener, etc. Financial concern, there is no uh, uh, huge amount is required to start small scale vermicompost unit. But if you want to start at very large scale, so there is some financial restriction may be there. But on small scale, there is no financial constraints, because the input cost, or you can say initial cost, one-time cost is very low. Availability of the suitable species of earthworm. It may be occur, it may be depend upon the location to location, but in India, there is Ptida species is available throughout the nation. You can purchase it cost about almost 150 kg per.
Mr. Manjeet,
Yes, ma'am.
sorry to interrupt. It's already 4 p.m.
Okay, okay. I'm wind up.
Yeah.
So,
How many slides are left?
yes, two or three, ma'am.
Okay, you can complete them.
Okay. Availability of the suitable species is not a big issue, but it may be on some location. Quality testing issue is there, especially developing country in like India, like standard operating procedure as well as quality testing facilities not available, or some certification agency is not available. So it may be a challenge to scale up the marketing of vermicompost. So application rate, it can be applied in any crop at any stage, but it would be more beneficial if mixed with soil after the broadcasting. The rate of application has vary from crop to crop. Field crop like wheat, rice, maize, it may be 5 to 6 ton per hectare. For vegetable production, it may be 10 to 12 ton per hectare. For floriculture, or you can say flower cultivation, it may be uh, 100 to 1200 gram per square feet. For food production, orchards, it may be 5 to 10 kg per tree. Advantage, there is much more advantage as compared to synthetic fertilizer. Vermicompost is rich source of nutrients, vitamins, enzyme, antibiotic, growth hormone. So it gives disease resistant to climate plants. Nutrients content of the vermicompost is higher than the traditional component compost. It is valuable soil amendment. Vermicompost harbors certain microorganism populations and help nitrogen fixation and phosphorus solubilizing. Its application enhance the nodulation in the legumes and symbiotic system in the root that is beneficial for crop as well as soil. So these all about vermicompost. So thanks for providing opportunity to discuss on this topic, which is very important today time. Uh, Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello. I
Thank
think.
you, Mr. Manjeet, for the detailed presentation. Now I'll take up some questions and you can stop sharing the screen.
Okay.
Okay. So first question is, what are the key advantages of setting up a commercial vermicompost unit compared to other composting methods?
Okay. Key advantage, mainly advantage like financial. So in this vermicompost, if we go for pit open shed method, so initial cost is very low, but the conversion rate is very much high as compared to other composting method like pit method uh, uh, and some heap method covered with polythene sheet. There is much time required to convert the raw dung into the compost. But in vermicompost, there is much more high rate of the conversion. So this is the major advantage. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next question. What types of organic waste materials are most suitable for vermicomposting and how can one ensure a balanced and efficient composting process?
Okay. Major raw material in vermicompost we use is cow dung. But along with cow dung, you can use your agriculture wastage like paddy, but paddy straw, wheat straw. But before applying or to use as a input material, we need to chop these straw. So uh, major input material is cow dung. If in first slide I mentioned that it should be natural resource, free from any charges. Like if we uh, purchase the raw material, so overall input cost will be increased. So I think it's good business for rural youth or the peri-urban youth, where the because India is, uh, um, in India there is a largest population of the animals in the world. So I think raw material shortage is not there. Yes, for crop cultivation, we can use various crop components like leaves, uh, paddy straw, wheat straw, maize straw, sorghum straw. Uh, but before using, we need to chop them. Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, what are the essential factors to consider when selecting a suitable location for a commercial vermicompost unit?
Okay. For commercial unit, we should select the site that is not uh, much away from the cities, because if we start this vermicompost unit too far away from the cities, there will be transportation cost for raw material as well as finished product. So for starting vermicompost unit, we should select the site that is from urban area, peri-urban area. So there is transportation cost will be reduced, as well as raw material availability will be there, and other facility water facility should be it is most essential facility should be there. Mm, and electricity, but electricity is not so much necessary, but for location it should near to cities, so that transportation cost will be reduced. Yes.
Okay. Next question.
Mm.
Could you explain step-by-step process of setting up a commercial vermicompost unit for acquiring the necessary equipment to managing the composting operation?
Okay. Step by step process, first of all is the site selection should be near to city. Second is leveling of the soil. We need to uplift or make the bed, so that in the rainy season the drainage of the excess water should be there, because if there will be excess water in the beds, there will be chances of death of the worms. Next is shedding. Like in summer season, we need to cover up the beds to conserve the moisture, as well as to avoid the worms from excess heat. Next is your water facility. So there is a need to provide continued water facility to at least maintain the 60 to 70% moisture in beds, to provide favorable condition for worms. Next, we need to uh, collect or harvest the vermi compost. For this, we if we going for open shed or a open bed cultivation, so we need to seeing this. Uh, raw compost by 2 mmc. After that, we will get pure wheat vermicompost, same like sea dust. So after that, we will dry up and after maintaining the required moisture, we will pack for final market. So this is the whole process. It will there is in 1 year there is 2 to 3 cultivation we can do. Yes.
Okay. And are there any specific permits or regulations that need to be followed when establishing
No.
establishing
Okay.
and
Okay.
operating a commercial vermicompost unit?
No. At present, there is no specific or legal procedure need to follow to start this um, vermicompost unit. Yes, if we go for very large scale of business, so we need to register our firm. If our turnover will be more than the slab of the income tax, so there will be need to register our firm for income tax regulation. But at present, there is no need to some license or any other legal process to follow. So we can proceed without any regulation.
Okay. And are there any specific techniques or strategies to market and sell vermicompost effectively to potential customers or
Okay,
industry?
okay, okay. As I earlier said that there is no much competition yet in this sector, but for promotion, more promotion of our product, we can make the effective packing of various weight like 1 kg, 50 kg, 500 gram. It is the packing should be very catchy so that the specification of the vermicompost features should be mentioned like food material, the nutritional information is there. So if we mention these uh, uh, information on the vermicompost packing, or it may be a bag or a box. So this will be additional advantage for market our product. Along with that, we should focus on the quantity of the our vermi compost. Second, we can also sell our vermi wash. That is the additional benefit in this business. Vermi wash is the which we need to moisture the bed. In that cases, some extra water will run out by drainage system, so that this water can be collected in separate vessel after filtering this um, water. We can pack in bottles that also can sell as a liquid fertilizer in market. That is an additional benefit.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we have the last question. Can you provide examples of successful commercial vermicompost units or case studies that have achieved notable results, and what can we learn from them?
Okay. There is many nursery I know which are successful, you can say success story, uh, in which as far as concerned in Haryana, I know the Balsaman agro industry. So this is one famous vermicompost industry which is supplying their vermicompost in Sar and Delhi NCR area. But there is many more. One famous vermicompost unit in Meerut. and one there is in Gurugram. There is so many successful entrepreneur in this business, but demand of the vermicompost day by day increasing. The youth should focus to start their business as a vermicompost, I think.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Manjeet, I don't see any more questions from our participants. So now we have come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we like to thank you for the detailed presentation and answering all the questions in depth. And we also like to thank all the participants for joining this meeting. The meeting will now be closed.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for
You're most welcome. Thank you.
Okay.